Have you ever caught yourself thinking you could be smarter, more focused, or simply more at peace? The truth is, intelligence goes far beyond just gathering information. It lives in our habits, attitudes, and especially the daily choices we make. While the world screams for our attention, the Stoics whisper deep truths that have echoed through centuries. And let's be honest, maybe what you really need isn't to study more, but to listen more to the silence and notice what's bothering you. Yes, some of these techniques might bring discomfort, but what the Stoics knew and many overlook today is that this discomfort can actually be a shortcut to real learning. The best part? You don't need to drop everything and move to the top of a mountain. All it takes is gently and consistently applying practices that sharpen your mind and elevate your level of awareness. Ready to dive into this journey of self-discovery, active listening, and clarity? Then get your coffee or tea ready, because you're about to start thinking differently. Embracing change as a teacher. Change, no matter how uncomfortable, is one of the wisest teachers you can have. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Instead of resisting, they observed what life brought their way and asked, what can I learn from this? Whether it's a layoff, the end of a chapter, or a new opportunity, every turning point hides an invitation to self-knowledge. It's as if the universe has its own peculiar way of teaching us by removing the comfort zone from our path. And well, you either learn or learn. This isn't about romanticizing chaos, but about training your eye to see growth even in the messiest scenarios. Next time something throws your plans off, take a deep breath, stay silent for a few minutes, and ask yourself, what is this situation trying to show me? It may sound simple, but this mindful observation turns pain into purpose. Change, when accepted, refines emotional intelligence, expands awareness, and strengthens the mind. After all, true growth doesn't happen where everything stays the same. Embracing discomfort for growth. You can't grow without running into discomfort. That urge to avoid tough situations, run from the new, or procrastinate is really your comfort zone trying to hold on to control. But your brain, like your muscles, needs tension to expand. Facing a difficult conversation, learning a new skill, or staying focused without distractions, these all demand self-discipline. The secret is to understand that discomfort is part of the process, not the enemy. Want a practical example? Start your day by doing the thing you're most likely to put off. This small act activates your inner strength and shows you're in control. Reading a dense book like Marcus Aurelius' Meditations might feel challenging at first, but it's a powerful exercise in focus and learning. The initial discomfort eventually turns into pleasure. And little by little, you start seeking challenges as chances to grow instead of seeing them as threats. The mind only evolves when we stop running from itself. Practicing deliberate disengagement. In a world where being online all the time feels almost mandatory, purposely unplugging is a smart form of rebellion. The Stoics knew this long before notifications. You need to step away from the noise to hear your own mind. A moment away from social media, a walk without headphones, or even a quiet coffee break are powerful ways to reconnect. It refreshes your thinking, sparks creativity, and recharges mental clarity. You don't need to disappear from the world, just insert mindful pauses into your day. Try turning off your phone for 30 minutes and simply observe your thoughts. Feel the initial discomfort without rushing to fill it with distractions. This kind of practice sharpens your inner listening, strengthens focus, and over time becomes a ritual of self-knowledge. The mind needs silence to organize all the noise inside. Sometimes doing nothing is what moves us the most. Commitment to continuous learning. Anyone who thinks learning is just for school is missing one of life's greatest treasures. The Stoics saw learning as a daily habit, a practice of freedom and mental expansion. It doesn't have to be grand, listening to a challenging podcast, rereading a book with fresh eyes, or asking questions out of curiosity instead of trying to be right. When you take on the mindset of a lifelong learner, everything becomes a source of growth, from a mistake to a chat at the bus stop. A good tip? Build your own Stoic library. Include classics like Seneca's Letters from a Stoic, and mix them with modern works like Austin Kleon's Steal Like an Artist. Blending the old with the new creates fertile ground for self-discovery to flourish. The key is keeping the engine running: one article a day, an inspiring video, a meaningful conversation to break your autopilot. Intelligence is cultivated this way through the humble consistency of someone who knows there's always more to learn. Cultivating gratitude as a daily practice. Gratitude has a silent, almost underestimated power. When you start looking at what you have instead of focusing only on what you lack, your whole perspective shifts. The Stoics practiced this gaze intensely. Every morning was a chance to be thankful for being alive, for having a new day to learn, observe, and evolve. It sounds simple, but being grateful even for small things like a hot coffee or a sincere hug can transform your entire mental state. Want to make it real? Create the habit of writing down 3 things you're grateful for every night. It might sound trivial, but over time this rewires your brain to find beauty even in chaos. Plus, it strengthens self-discipline and reduces emotional disengagement when challenges come. You begin to respond rather than react. Gratitude, when practiced, sharpens perception and brings you closer to a more sensitive, connected kind of intelligence. It's not magic, it's daily training in presence. Practicing mindful observation. We live so much on autopilot that sometimes we forget to truly look, really see what's around us. The Stoics taught observation as a tool of wisdom, paying attention to the present moment, to gestures, to thoughts that arise uninvited. This mindfulness doesn't require hours of meditation. It starts by noticing the sound of rain, the taste of your food, your breath between tasks. It's a subtle practice that gradually makes you see what once went unnoticed. A simple exercise? Pick one routine activity during your day: showering, washing dishes, walking, and do it with full presence. Notice the details without judgment or rush. This activates your inner listening, calms the mind, and clears mental noise. Over time, this sharpens intuitive intelligence, broadens awareness, and better prepares you to handle real life, not just the ideal version. After all, those who see better, choose better, and live with more clarity. Developing active listening. Truly listening is almost a superpower these days. Instead of waiting for your turn to talk, the Stoics practiced listening as a way to learn and connect. When you open yourself to hear without haste or judgment, you discover more about others and about yourself. Observation gains depth and emotional intelligence refines. Sometimes a good listener is worth more than 1,000 poorly given pieces of advice. Want to nurture this? In your next conversation, try to stay quiet a little longer than usual. Ask questions instead of interrupting. Notice the tone, the silences, the unspoken words. This not only strengthens bonds, but also reduces disengagement in relationships. Active listening is one of the most elegant ways to practice self-awareness because it reveals your triggers, impatience, and biases. Listening is an act of presence, and presence is intelligence in action. Seeking silence amid noise. In a world that never stops talking, choosing silence is an act of courage. The Stoics knew that great answers live in silence. It's not about isolating yourself from the world, but creating spaces where your mind can breathe and thoughts can reorganize. Constant noise, whether external or internal, pulls us away from ourselves. And let's be honest, if you can't hear what you're thinking, how will you know what you want? A practical tip? When you wake up, avoid grabbing your phone for the first 30 minutes. Stay silent, even if it's just sipping your coffee and watching the morning unfold. This small ritual strengthens self-discipline, calms the mind, and prepares you to face the day with more clarity. Silence, strange as it may seem at first, is a powerful partner on the path of self-knowledge. It's not empty, it's full of wisdom waiting to be heard. Daily reflection. The Stoics had a simple yet transformative habit: reviewing their day before bed. Nothing mystical, just a practice of observation and self-awareness. They'd ask themselves, what did I do well? Where did I slip? What can I improve tomorrow? This small daily pause creates mental space for constant growth and learning. It's like sharpening the blade of your mind every day, gently, without self-judgment, but with clarity. Want to start? Grab a notebook and write 3 questions at the end of your day. What did I learn? How did I handle discomfort? And where can I apply more self-discipline tomorrow? This practice stimulates both emotional and rational intelligence and prevents impulsive decisions. Over time, you get to know yourself more deeply and act with more intention. Reflection isn't wasting time, it's gaining awareness. Living aligned with values and purpose. Living in line with your values isn't just a nice philosophical tip, it's a practical guide for a life full of meaning and clarity. The Stoics taught us that true intelligence is born when actions align with principles like virtue, reason, and self-control. This demands self-discipline, but the result is a calmer mind, less prone to disengage from challenges, and more connected to personal purpose. To begin, reflect on what truly matters to you. Which values can't be shaken even by the strongest wind? Write them down, revisit them, and use them as your daily compass for decisions. This coherence strengthens self-knowledge and helps you face change with courage and gratitude, because you know exactly where you stand. Living this way doesn't mean absence of difficulties, but a way to navigate them with wisdom and sharpened intelligence. Now that you know these 10 powerful Stoic techniques, hey, race an invitation. How can you apply each one in your daily life to transform not just your intelligence but also your way of living? What changes are you willing to embrace, even if they bring that initial discomfort? Constantly reflecting on your values and habits may be the first step out of autopilot and into clarity amidst chaos. Why not start right now? Break an automatic habit, practice silence, or try a mindful pause. If you enjoyed this content, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss any tips that will sharpen your mind even more and deepen your self-awareness. The path to thinking differently begins with one choice: yours.